Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the LiSEC campus. My name is Thomas Lenze and I'm the Deputy Sales Director of the LiSEC Group. Today we want to talk about the LiSEC.eye and the LiSERV, and I want to hand over to my colleague Thomas Fehringer, who's head of the LiSEC online service department.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the introduction, Thomas. Today I will guide you through our presentation regarding the LiSEC.eye. I will show you all the advantages and the highlights out of it, and as well as the LiSERV user agreement. Let's get started. Before we go into details, I would like to show you a quick video, and then we will move on. Well, back with the advantages, as told before already, each machine is connected to each other. We're sending a lot of data backwards and forwards, and it's very difficult to describe the right fault image to our LiSEC engineers. The language barrier is an issue, of course, and it's time saving, as you don't need to send large files over to LiSEC via FTP server or whatever. So, as I said before, once the app is downloaded, we start the app where we get this picture with the service number and password. This information you only have to share with the LiSEC support engineer, and he will connect straight away to your phone. Let's have a look. Video is starting on his phone. Off he goes for troubleshooting. So we will have a closer look on the mobile phone now. Here we go. So what you can see now is on the top right-hand corner, you have these three lines. This is the main menu where we'll have a look for the options in a second. On the bottom, you had the red phone where you can hang up at any time. You have the microphone where you can mute your call. You have the video camera where you can switch off the video itself. You have the flashlight as well as the video camera for pictures. And of course, a little chat function where you can, whenever you want to, chat with the LiSEC engineer next to your video as well. So let's have a look in the main menu where you can adjust the options. First of all, we have the audio options where you can see via, are you connected via voice over IP, more or less the internet, or over your phone mobile. Then you have the settings for your camera and speakers. You can choose between the front and back-facing camera, of course, and which speakers you would like to use. This is handy when you actually have a headset. And last but not least, the quality settings. The app itself will choose already the best quality available with your internet connection, but of course you can go even higher if you want. So, of course, it's readjusting now according to the settings. And now we will see in a second the first highlight already. Those red dots now in this video. This is the laser pointer. That means whenever you have this video, you can click with your finger on the screen and the LiSEC support agent will see it according like to this video with this a red dot on the screen. But of course, the LiSEC guy can also click with his mouse on the screen, and the engineer on site by the machine will see exactly the same red dot. That's of course very handy if you just would like to show him which part of the machine we're talking about at the moment. It's way easier to identify. If this is not enough, we can go into more details. How we are going to do that? Quite simple. We take a picture just on the bottom on the button. Just a second. So picture is taken. Now you can see on the bottom start whiteboard. That means you can check, yes, this is the picture I would like to share with the LiSEC agent. Then you start the whiteboard, sending image. And this is now the picture actually, what both now can see. On the top, you have a little menu where you can now draw into this picture in real time, of course. It means you can select between a pencil, you can draw a rectangular, a circle, an arrow, or you can even write a text into it. But let's have a look. Let's do that. So what is the maintenance guide doing? Of course, you can change the color and the thickness of your pencil, like we do right now. And then you can start draw already. So as you can see, the engineer on site would like to point to this plug. Looks like he thinks this one is faulty, so let's wait what the LiSEC engineer is saying. No, as you can see, the yellow circle, I think we are speaking about this, yes, this green cable and this plug. Let's have a look. What else is coming? Yes, he confirms even with the text, we need to check the green cable. But as you can also see on the bottom, this little chat window, we got a message as well. Please check the green cable. Looks like it is not connected. Unplug the cable and plug it in again, please. All right, let's answer okay. Will do. So this is very handy, of course, if it's very noisy in the company and you are somewhere next to the machines in the production area, then of course it helps a lot to just type it in quickly. But of course, we strongly recommend to use actually a headset. You have your hands free, you can put your phone by side or you put it on a mount where we can always see the machine part or whatever, and it's easier to understand, of course. Well, once you have actually found the problem and you have repaired it, you can close this picture actually, switch back to a normal video or end the call. Well, those are actually pretty much the two highlights already. So it's easy to use. You have the real-time laser pointer. This is actually the option where what we use most. You have the chat function in the video, and of course the whiteboard. All these functions are included in our LiSERV. The LiSERV I would like to explain a little bit later. First, I actually will hand over to Thomas. Maybe he got some questions for us.
Thomas, thanks a lot for your detailed presentation. Of course, I got a few questions. My first question is, can the LiSEC.eye be only used via Wi-Fi connection? No, the LiSEC.eye can be used, of course, via the normal mobile network or via Wi-Fi. But of course, we are sending actually good quality video, so I strongly recommend to use the Wi-Fi connection whenever possible to save actually additional costs via the mobile provider. Thank you. Another question. Is the app itself for free? Yes, the app itself you can download free of charge from the web store. You can actually, your whole maintenance team can download this app or whoever who want. It's only the usage itself will be charged with 250 euros, but I will come to these details when we talk about the LiSERV use agreement. Thank you. Where can I get further information about the LiSEC.eye? This information can be gained from the sales team itself. Of course, on our homepage, there are a lot of details. And of course, you can also always ring our support center where they can give you details about the LiSEC.eye and the usage of it. Thomas, can you explain me, please, once again, the advantages of the LiSEC.eye? The big advantage is, of course, what we have seen just now, that was the laser pointer. That's really very handy to quickly show or point on some parts or whatever. And of course, the whiteboard is great, where you can also do, or what our LiSEC engineers do, is to write or take a picture and write some little instructions into it, so the maintenance guy on site can easily follow without doing additional drawings, paintings, or whatever back home. What are the actual cost numbers for the LiSEC.eye if the customer has a LiSERV contract?
With the LiSERV contract, it's actually everything included. The LiSERV is a package, actually a premium package, where all support tools available with LiSEC are included and free of charge then.
One important question when it comes to confidentiality. Will a live session be recorded or stored?
No, the live session will not be recorded or stored for a simple reason. Sometimes it takes 5, 10, 20 minutes to find the root cause of the problem. If you're, for example, now 20 minutes with the video online and you save that, first of all, it needs a lot of data and the storage, of course. And secondly, if you would like to follow up later what the problem was, you need to search in this 20-minute video. And this is, of course, time consuming as well. So what we do is actually we delete the video and we do a ticket case actually. We document what was the problem, what is the solution and the root cause for it. So it's way quicker for you to follow up at a later date.
Thank you, Thomas. My last question. Usually it's quite noisy in a production environment. What can the operator do if he has a problem?
Yeah, we strongly recommend to use a headset from the beginning actually, because as soon as you call LiSEC in and if you have your headset, you can look easily on your screen, give us the service number and password, and it's also easier to understand for both parties.
Thomas, thanks a lot for all the information about the LiSEC.eye. Let's talk about the LiSERV, please. Can you give us more details about the LiSERV?
Of course I will, no problem at all. Therefore, I have prepared again a short video. Hopefully, guys, everything will go right now. So, LiSERV, we have mentioned that word before already a few times. What is LiSERV? For what do I need it? Probably a lot of you guys know our former LPC contract. That means this was the contract or is the contract with our online support to have support available when needed. We have now updated this old LPC contract to our new model called LiSERV now. It's more customer friendly, easier to understand, easier to calculate, and easier to cancel actually. So what do we get with this LiSERV package? First of all, you get a priority line. That means when you have a problem on site with your machinery, you have your special phone number, not our regular support number, where you get actually your priority in the phone calls. That means when you call in, you will overtake all regular phone calls to be served way quicker. Also, sometimes, of course, it's possible that all agents are on the phone, but even for that, we have a solution. That means if nobody picks up within a certain time, we are speaking about up to 3 minutes, some person out of our office will pick up, will take your details, your problem, your phone number, and the right specialist will call you back as soon as he's available. As mentioned before, the LiSEC.eye, of course, is included as well as the My LiSEC customer portal. The My LiSEC customer portal is a service communication platform where we create these tickets, what I have mentioned before, these cases. That means we are documenting all calls and problems, what you tell us, and you can look it up online at a later date. Also, you have a spare part catalog in there and some other informations regarding your service and machinery. And of course, contract termination, you can do it anytime, just with a 3 months notice. But let's get down to the costs. This is probably the interesting point for you. We have now 3 packages. Before it was calculated on the whole machinery pack, which machine you would like to add and so on. It was very difficult, but now we made it quite simple. So if you have, for example, up to 9 machines, you pay only 290 euros a month. What do we mean with 9 machines or with a machine actually? Which machines are calculated now for this contract? If we take an IG line, you have your washer, you have your flat gas filling press, and you have your sealing robot. Those are 3 main machines with PLCs or the backup computer. We are not counting anymore like the measuring station in front of the press and these little things. No, that's all gone. Only the main machine with his own brain. So if you have now, of course, more than 9 machines, so between 10 and 90, the package will cost you 790 euros a month. And from 20 machine onwards, you will pay 990 a month. So as we said before, the hotline, of course, is always free of charge, also without contract. That means if you have a question or need an explanation or whatever, that's still free of charge, of course, like in the past. But as soon as we need to connect to your machine remotely or via LiSEC.eye, then the costs will kick in. With LiServe, everything is included, of course, like we mentioned a few times. Without contract, you need to pay 250 euros for 1 support case. That means if you ring in for a fault and we need to go online, for example, 10 times to solve this 1 fault, then you pay only 250 or not 10 times 250. So as long as we work on 1 case, on 1 fault, more or less, it costs you 250 euros. It doesn't matter actually if we go online now with the LiSEC.eye or with the remote connection, or if we use both. It's 250 euros for the case itself. What you do not have without the contract, of course, you don't have the customer portal or the spare part catalog, but everything else, like the free hotline, you will have as well. So back to Thomas. I'm sure he got a few questions for me again.
Of course, I got a few questions. I want to quickly go back to the LiSEC.eye, Thomas. Can the customer use the LiSEC.eye without the LiServe contract?
Yes, of course, everybody worldwide with LiSEC machine can use it. The only difference is with LiServe, it's included. There are no extra charges, but if you do not have this LiServe, you have to pay 250 euros for each support case. As I said, doesn't matter how we connect. As long as we work on this 1 case, it's 250 euros. It doesn't matter how many times we connect.
Another important question, Thomas. When does the old LPC contract end and when does the new LiServe contract start?
The old LPC contract will get cancelled by 31st of December. You should have received a letter already, or whoever who got this contract. And in the meantime, until year's end, our sales force, of course, will provide you with the offer for the new LiServe, so you can compare the costs and decide if you would like to go for it starting with next year then.
Thomas, when do customers get an invoice if they don't have a LiServe contract for a remote connection?
Yeah, they will get the invoice after the problem is solved. So not when we connect first. First, we need, of course, to solve the problem. Then we can close this ticket or the case more or less. The customer just needs to confirm, yes, it solved the problem, and then we will bill our case out for 250 euros. But also if this problem comes up 2 or 3 days later, for whatever some reason, we can reopen this case and there are no extra charges, because sometimes, of course, it's very difficult or you have a different batch to produce and this problem is coming only with this one batch. So you have also the option to reopen the case that we keep working on that to solve it finally.
And what happens to the old LPC contracts?
The old LPC contract, as we said, will get cancelled, will be not available anymore, and we will switch over by year's end to this new reserve model, which is way easier for everybody to understand, and it's even cheaper.
Who will be the contact for questions when it comes to the reserve?
Again, it's your usual contact, what you know already, where you are familiar with. This is the Salesforce. They have all the details available, but also you can call our support center. They are also happy to give you some details.
And who will be the contact when it comes to specific support questions?
Support questions, of course, you need to ask our support center, please. So that means your regular phone number where you ring in for problems, and they're quite happy to help you.
Once again, the question, Thomas, which machines are accessible via remote connection?
So, roughly said, actually all machines with his own hard. That means each machine with a backup computer behind or like a washer. Those are main machines, but not the little ones next to it anymore.
Is the LiSEC hotline still free of charge?
Yes, the hotline is still free of charge. That means as long as we do not need to go online or connect via the LiSEC.eye, it will be free of charge.
I've got no further questions, Thomas. Thanks a lot for your presentation on the LiSEC.eye and the reserve. And if there are some further questions, Thomas and we and the LiSEC Salesforce is available for you anytime. Thanks a lot.